The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video.
Come on, boys, get loud. 'Cause when the music starts bumping, the whole place will be jumping. It's my scene, my scene. You know what
Hey y'all, ooh, let me move over because y'all not in the middle. My setup is different today, so the hair is doing whatever today. I'm sorry I can't do anything about that, but hey y'all, it's Harriana in the back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana. Welcome to and welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harriet's pirate ship. I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why? Bring your ear closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly. It looks like I gotta come closer to y'all today. No one's worthy of being the first mate. But hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana, and I like to make content based on nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. Now today we are going to be talking about two instances of where animation fans don't seem to understand how the female body works. And this is actually something that I wanted to talk about back in February when we ended up getting more looks at Tiana's Bayou adventure. And now that I see that this discourse is starting again with a show that I have just been avoid speaking about because it just causes so much uproar and I just kind of don't want that attention. Yeah, we're just gonna sit here and discuss. But before we begin, I just want to let you guys know I have added tons of new things to my shop today because this video is going up on the 27th, and the 27th is the day I added all the new things. I've added new bonnets like you guys have been asking for. I've also added some new shirts. I finally added new lip glosses because y'all been asking me about new lip glosses too just as well. I added a new sticker. Look, okay. Look, it says JJK daughter. Ever since my friend Brandon called me JJK daughter, I lived up to it. So I got a sticker for my shop for anybody else that qualifies as a JJK daughter. But all of that new stuff, if you guys are interested in that, the link to that down below. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on with today's subject matter. First, we're going to be talking about Tiana, and then we are going to be talking about Thorn in the second half. So what exactly happened with Princess Tiana? Y'all know I adore her. I talk about her all the time. I think about her all the time. I've been like her biggest fan since like that damn movie came out, okay? But Princess Tiana has been getting more things from the Disney company. She recently has her book that I have talked about here on my channel numerous times. She's supposed to be getting a TV show on Disney Plus, but also we know that her ride Tiana Bayou Adventure is replacing Splash Mountain, which needs to be gone because it comes from a very racist ass movie that y'all don't want to own up to. But when it comes to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, it is basically taking place a few years, from what I know, after The Princess and the Frog. So it's not going to be a retelling of the movie, and I appreciate that they're adding some new originality to it. It's a whole new storyline, whole new setting. Well, it's still going to be in New Orleans, but like a whole new setting. The characters are still going to be there. There are going to be some new characters in it just as well, because I know one criticism that a lot of people have been having with The Princess and the Frog, including myself, is that Tiana was a damn frog for 3/4 of the movie. So for the ride, I'm pretty sure she's just gonna be human the entire time, and they ended up adding new original frog characters. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Mama Odie, we're gonna see Charlotte, pretty much everybody from the original that was still alive. They're gonna be all over here. Now, we ended up getting a photo of what Tiana's concept art looks like, and then we ended up seeing what she's going to look like in the animatronic. And there were people that were not necessarily happy with Tiana's appearance. Now, why may y'all ask why people are upset about the way Tiana looks? People are complaining about the fact that Tiana looks older. And when we look at Tiana's design, it's pretty clear that she has gained weight, and you can tell that not only has she just gained weight in her body, but we can also see that she's gained weight in her face. Do y'all understand that like weight gain is normal when it comes to like life and getting older? And this is just like one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't seem to like understand with The Princess and the Frog, because I read the book and Tiana's mother did make comments about her body, talking about how skinny she was, and I understand that, like, as a skinny woman it does irritate me when my family makes comments about my body, telling me that I need to eat more and things like that. But I can get a sense of why Tiana was the way she was, like why she looked the way she did in the original, is because she was very much unhappy. Tiana was stressed out all the time. The movie The Princess and the Frog is about food. Tiana is a chef. While we see her cooking all the time, we barely saw her eat. We barely saw that bitch eat. I'm just being completely honest. We barely saw her eat. So we know that this Tiana's Bayou adventure is going to take place a few years later after the Princess and the Frog film. So, you know, as time passes, you're going to look different. Tiana's not going to look the same way she did then when her life was completely different. She was working 2 damn jobs, working day and night, constantly on the run, running around everywhere, and I'm pretty sure she was not eating all that much. Like I said, we barely saw her eating the movie. We didn't. So fast forwarding here, she looks different. She looks a lot happier. She has gained a bit of weight, but a lot of people just seem to take issue with the fact that they aged her, like actually physically in her face and her body. Like, it's just something like this that just, I'm thankful for them doing this, because it just goes to show you that people do change as time passes on. But it kind of frustrates me because it just starts a discourse of people just not seeming to understand that life imitates art and art imitates life. Y'all sit here and you say that you want your art to be realistic, and then when it gets to that point, that is when you all complain. Also, have any of y'all ever had New Orleans seafood or just New Orleans food in general? I went to New Orleans a few weeks ago to go visit my family and friends, and also Veritas Joe, y'all know I love him. I went and got some good photography, all that, and I had New Orleans food, and the food over there is high in just pretty much everything, very greasy, very tasty. It makes sense to know why Tiana got bigger, especially in the environment that she's in. It just really bothered me though, because it just kind of frustrated me, because for the longest a lot of people have been very critical of the way the Walt Disney Company portrays its female heroines' bodies. Like, they are all usually small waist, small features in the face, small lips, like usually straight hair, thin, skinny. They all kind of have like copying body types, and a lot of people have had these criticisms on that. So to see that they actually are kind of doing something better, it actually changed the way a character looks as she gets older, people are taking issue with that. When I did listen, there's a lot of shit that we can complain about with the Disney Company. That is not one of them. That is not one of them. Because it just makes me think a lot about how with Frozen and Frozen 2, how there is a time change between there. And I'm pretty sure Frozen 2 takes place like 3 to 4 years after the first Frozen. Anna and Elsa still look the same. And while, yeah, there are a lot of women out here that do look the same from a certain time period, come on, it's not realistic for the majority. Let's be completely transparent with it. Aging is a thing. It happens to people, and the animation community is just very weird when it comes to the subject of aging, but specifically when it comes with women and aging. Hey guys, it's Harry. I wanted to take a quick break from today's video and tell you guys about the new things that I have coming for my shop. For those of you guys who don't know, I do have a shop where I sell things inspired by pretty much the things I like in pop culture. I sell bonnets, t-shirts, lip glosses, all of that good stuff. Let me show you guys some of what I got, including I may or may not be a Choso simp. Now this gets me into the second part of the video that really pissed me off. Like, it puts me off a lot more than when people were making rude comments about Tiana's body than over here. And it's kind of strange because this has to do with a white woman, and that had to do with a woman of color, a black woman specifically, and all that shit was just misogynoir. But over here, it was just full-on ageism and misogyny right here, because this character, Thorn, she is the Hex girl, you know, the lead Hex girl. She is very much middle-aged here. This is the oldest that we have ever seen Thorn by the way. This is Scooby-Doo that I'm talking about, and it is the show Velma. I briefly mentioned Velma on my channel last year when I was talking about how everybody was just dogpiling on the show, and everybody just felt the need to constantly be bringing up how Velma was Indian and this and that and the third. And I'm just like, why is that you all's main focal point when you're talking about the show? Because it's very much given anti-Indian sentiment. And I just spoke about how a lot of people just need to be very careful when they were talking about things that lead with people of color, because it can come off to be as anti-POC. So that's what that was about. I never watched the show. My friend Offbeat Kiki made an amazing video about it. I'll have the link to their video down below for y'all to check out. But like, Velma is a show that I just didn't really have much interest in. But the discourse that surrounds this show kind of frustrates me. And I'm not sitting here, like I said, I'm not watching it. I don't plan to, mainly because just a lot of animation fans have just turned me off from it because of the ongoing bad takes and it's been a mess. But this was something that I saw today that just really kind of frustrates me, because it just reminded me of an ongoing issue that we keep having within this community, and it has to do with the character Thorn. Thorn, like I said, is the lead Hector girl, and we see that she is now middle-aged. Well, listen, do y'all mamas look the same way they did when they was like in their fucking early 20s? No. Thorn is a mother now. I'm pretty sure she has a child. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we see that her body has changed. She now has wrinkles. And mind you, that she's still fairly thin. She always has been like skinny. But we see that her boobs are a bit sagging now. She basically has shown that she is aged, but she has not really changed up her style. She looks very much the same as she did. Like, when I say the same, she looks the same fashion wise. Like, I really do like how they show that just because she got older, she didn't necessarily change her aesthetic and her appearance. And as somebody that lives in an area that is very much like accepting of like the way a lot of people look and whatnot, have y'all never seen white women that look like that? I have met numerous white women, goth white women, punk alternative white women. They look like that, like in their 40s, even 50s, sometimes in their 60s. Old goth women look like that, and they're super cute. Like, what's the problem? I thought Thorn looked good. I didn't necessarily think there was an issue there with her appearance. Like I said, mind you, I didn't watch Velma. I don't know what's going on with that show. But I just realized that people would just find anything about this one series right here to complain about. But it's beyond people just finding something new to talk about with Velma and just finding something new to pick apart with it. People sit here and talk about how they want their works to be realistic to the world. And a lot of people sit and do that. They want to add, you know, these aspects of life that are a bit, I wouldn't even say these are taboo things, but things that we are not likely to see on our screen. As I mentioned, that when I go out, I do see tons of older white goth women, and not just goth white women, just goth women of color too in general. Because of the city I am, it's very diverse, and not even just diverse when it comes to like race, but also sexuality, but mainly interest. And the punk scene is very big here. The goth scene is very big here. I don't necessarily see a lot of that on our television screen. So it is nice to see what I see in real life be reflected in our works. But when we have that be reflected in our works, we always have that one certain type of demographic that is just gonna sit here and complain. And I am so sick of y'all misusing the word woke, because a lot of y'all don't seem to fucking know what it means. You don't know what it originally meant, and now you're abusing the fuck out of it and misusing it even more. You could literally just be sitting there as a person of color, as a gay person, or just somebody that is a minority to society, and somebody would just sit there and point to you woke. And I'm just like, no. And it's like we have this aspect right here of life imitating art. Like, Tiana has gained weight in a few years after the Princess and the Frog film, because, you know, gaining weight is a part of getting older. We see Thorn has wrinkles now. We see that her breasts sag. Your body changes over time, and things are not going to look the same way as they do then. Because one thing I've noticed in particular, that Thorn is still particularly skinny. As somebody who is a skinny woman, I'm gonna sit here and tell you now, just because I have small boobs, I literally wear an A cup. These sag. They sag. Titties sag, y'all. Like, why are y'all so afraid of this? this isn't weird. This is normal. This is just how the female body is, especially when you get older. And your body does change, especially after you have children. And your body doesn't even necessarily have to change after you have children because, like I said, stress plays into it. Life, diet changes, everything, medication. I'm sorry, but you're not going to look the same way you do in your early 20s as you do later on. And that's okay. And I feel like because we have so much of this anti-aging rhetoric that is constantly being spread, not just on social media, because this was a problem before social media. I remember in television shows, we would see so many jokes about older women complaining about how they were actually starting to look their age. And there would be so many ongoing jokes in shows where a woman would be 40, but she most likely is over the age of 40, and she'll just constantly keep saying that she's 40. And I remember there was even a joke in SpongeBob where his grandma, she wouldn't even say how old she was because she was kind of ashamed at that age, the age number specifically. I feel like we have so many ignorant views towards aging that we need to work on as a whole, because I understand that people do want to sit and look good, but I feel like there is only one type of way for people to look good to a lot of others. Y'all don't think somebody looks good unless they look good in your kind of way, or like society's beauty standards that have been held up so freaking high. And we can thank celebrities to this because, like I said, Thorne has wrinkles, her breast sag. Do y'all not know that a lot of celebrities, they usually are middle aged? They get work done. They get that buccal fat removal, that shit. I hate that. Oh god, I can't stand it. I'm sorry if you like that look, but I just can't stand it. A lot of them get Botox. A lot of them get boob jobs. A lot of them get boob lifts. A lot of them get liposuction. Have y'all been hearing a lot about Ozempic lately and how people who actually fucking need it are not able to get it because celebrities and just rich people in general are so insecure about their bodies that they are using it in order to try and look a certain way? Like, I try not to be really rude when it comes to the subject of plastic surgery, because you never know what somebody is dealing with, especially when it comes to insecurities and whatnot. And I know not all body surgeries are bad, because I do know that when a lot of people do lose weight, they end up having to get surgery to remove like some extra skin on their body. I know I had a aunt that had to get that type of surgery. Like, I'm doing a lot better when it comes to learning about like body image and whatnot and why people do certain things, but also realizing that having to get surgeries on your body is not always bad. Sometimes it is needed when it comes to certain people because of health reasons and whatnot. But it's time to accept the fact that a lot of people really just, we don't have no idea what people are really supposed to look like in our works. We have no idea what people are supposed to look like because of what we see on our television screen. What we see on screen is so different from what we see, like, you know, in real life. And I remember when I used to work on TV shows and whatnot, specifically Legacies, you would sit here and you would look at everybody who's on camera. Everyone looks fairly young. No one, like, you know, when we were doing scenes, mainly it was just with the school and whatnot, no one necessarily really looks like a day or two over 30. And then you flip the camera around and you see the crew and everyone looks completely different. People actually are middle-aged and they look middle-aged. Their bodies are a lot different. They are a lot bigger, because I remember when I worked on the show, I'm not even sure if I can even say this, but I'm saying now, they didn't hire a lot of people over a size, like I'd say 6 or an 8, and that's because they only carry clothes up to like a size 8. It was actually very concerning. The entertainment industry has a lot to work on when it comes to just the way we portray female bodies in general, and seeing the way people were complaining about Princess Tiana's weight gain. Mind you, she didn't even gain that much weight. She didn't even gain that much weight. She was still skinny, if you ask me. She was still thin. And then seeing the way people are complaining about Thorne, who is still skinny but is showing signs of aging with her breast sagging and her having wrinkles. Y'all can't handle real people. Like, I understand that art is an escapism and this and that and the third, but at some point, some of y'all gonna have to own up to the fact that a lot of y'all art that y'all enjoy is just kind of rooted in ignorance and bigotry. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's just all I'm gonna say. I just wanted to get on hand camera and rant about it, because as we sit here and talk about how like the entertainment, the film industry, specifically the animation industry today, is changing slowly over time, we still have a long way to go, because the way these fans interact to change, how these fans react to change. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. It's late. It's like midnight right now, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go and cut this off. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I deeply do appreciate it. It is so fucking hot in this hallway. Oh my god, like I am dying. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this edited. Don't forget, new products have been added to my shop, arianahook.com. Deeply would appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, night, whatever time of the day that you're watching this. I'm just thankful that you watched it with the ads on. Alright, thank you. Goodbye.